What if a single phone call could connect you to the past, not just memory, but a real person living 20 years ago? At first, it feels like a miracle. A lonely girl finally finds someone who understands her. But what happens when helping that person changes everything? When every decision you make rewrites your present and creates something far more terrifying? Because in this story, saving a life might be the biggest mistake you'll ever make. Seo-yeon returned to her childhood home, a place filled with painful memories she had tried to forget. Her relationship with her mother was cold and distant, weighed down by guilt and regret over a tragic accident that changed their lives forever. While unpacking, Seo-yeon discovered an old cordless phone hidden in the house. That night, the phone suddenly rang. Confused, she picked it up. On the other end was a frightened young woman named Young-suk, crying and begging for help. She claimed she was being tortured by her mother. Seo-yeon initially thought it was a prank, until she realized something terrifying. Young-suk wasn't calling from another place. She was calling from the same house, but 20 years in the past. Shaken but curious, Seo-yeon continued speaking with her. The two girls, both lonely and broken in their own ways, slowly formed a bond through the phone. Seo-yeon soon discovered that Young-suk's mother was actually a shaman who abused and controlled her, claiming she was possessed. Wanting to help, Seo-yeon searched through old records in the present and discovered that Young-suk had died years ago in that very house. Realizing she could change the past, Seo-yeon warned Young-suk about the night she was supposed to die. Armed with this knowledge, Young-suk fought back and killed her abusive mother. In that moment, Seo-yeon's present suddenly changed. Her once sick mother was now alive and healthy. Her life had completely improved, as if the past had been rewritten. At first, it felt like a blessing. But Seo-yeon soon noticed something was wrong. Young-suk's tone began to change. She became unstable, obsessive, and dangerously unpredictable. With no one to stop her in the past, Young-suk began committing brutal murders. And every time she killed someone, Seo-yeon's present changed again. People disappeared, reality shifted. The world around her became unfamiliar and terrifying. Desperate, Seo-yeon tried to cut ties with Young-suk, but it was too late. Young-suk had grown attached, and she didn't want to be abandoned. When Seo-yeon refused to help her anymore, Young-suk turned against her. Using the phone, she began targeting Seo-yeon's family in the past. Seo-yeon watched helplessly as her present crumbled, her mother's fate constantly changing, depending on Young-suk's actions. In a final attempt to stop her, Seo-yeon worked with her mother in the past, guiding her through the phone to confront Young-suk before she could become a killer. A violent struggle broke out in the house. Seo-yeon's mother fought desperately to protect her daughter's future, while Young-suk, now fully unhinged, refused to lose control over her twisted reality. The timeline began collapsing anew, shifting between past and present as both sides fought for survival. In the end, Seo-yeon believed they had finally stopped Young-suk. Her present stabilized. Her mother was alive. Everything seemed normal again, but just when it felt like the nightmare was over and the phone rang one last time, and this time, Young-suk was still there.